this is a real quick video on formulating an equation from the graph, specifically from the graph of a quadratic function. So here we have a function. We have no idea what the equation is, but we need to know that. So there are steps, obviously. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at where it crosses the x-axis. We learned before that those are its roots. So like right here, that's a root. This is a root. And we're going to decide where those are. Okay, so this is at positive 2. And then 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have roots at 2 and 6. What that means, so let me write that roots. That is x equals 2, x equals 6. So step 1 then is going to be to find your roots. And you'll be able to know that just by looking at the graph. Find roots. Once you have your roots, you're going to change them into your factors. So make factors. Now before we said factors were like x plus 2 or x plus 3 or something like that. So a factor looks like x plus or minus something to x plus f. That's a factor. But here we have roots. We don't have factors. So we have x plus 2. We have, x equals 2, and we have x equals 6. But we don't have like an x plus or minus 2 or an x plus or minus 6. So the first thing we want to do to get our factors is we're going to move this 2 over to this side with our x. Well, to do that, this is a positive 2. We're going to subtract a 2 over here. If we do that, we got to subtract 2 on the other side. So we end up with x minus 2 equals 0. So this x minus 2 is our factor. Yay! Hooray, factors. We're going to do the same thing with our 6. It's a positive 6, so we subtract a 6 from both sides. And we get x minus 6 equals 0. Yay! So we have factors. Our factors are x minus 2, x minus 6. Let me put that here. So root, we have x equals positive 2, positive 6. Factors, we have x minus 2, x minus 6. This is kind of a handy thing. Note that we started with a positive 2, we went to a negative 6. Okay, so we have our factors then of x minus 2, x minus 6. So now we need to turn those factors into an equation. So step 3 then, we're going to multiply them together. So we're going to say multiply factors. This is going to look like FOIL or however you want to do that. So we have f of x equals. So this is the first time we've said f of x, but we're turning this into an equation. So we have x minus 2 times x minus 6. If we multiply those out, we get x squared minus 6x minus 2x. And then negative 2 times negative 6 goes to 12, but notice we have a negative times a negative, so it goes positive. So we have plus 12. Okay, we multiplied our factors. Hooray! Next step, we're going to combine our like terms. So combine like terms. This is actually our final step in this. Okay, so if we combine our like terms then, we have this negative 2 plus this negative 6. We end up with x squared minus 8 because we have negative 6 and a negative 2 and they're together. Minus 8x plus 12. And we just stick this little f of x equals on the outside here. And that's our equation. So we're done. And that is all you do. So as a rundown then, we started out with our roots. We knew that it crossed the x-axis here, and oops, let me do that as a line. We did that here and here. So we crossed at x equals positive 2. We crossed at x equals positive 6. Where it crosses is our root. So it crosses twice. We have two roots. We have x equals 2, x equals 6. We took our roots. We changed them into factors just by moving the number onto the other side with the x. So we got x minus 2 and x minus 6. After that, we multiplied our two factors together. We used our FOIL method, so we did that, and that, and that, and that. Let me put it out here. This is FOIL. And then after that, we combined our like terms, and that's our answer. So that's how you find the equation from a graph.